Hey, what's up, you guys? If you are active internet, especially YouTube consumer, you would probably see lots of people leaving United States. Now, to be honest, it's kind of heartbreaking for me to see so many people leaving states, but I also was thinking, why is this happening? Like, there should be like a significant reasons. And more I thought about it as an immigrant myself, I started to understand some of those guys who are leaving states. Now, don't get me wrong, I love United States. I think this is so far one of the best countries to do the business in, to live in, safety-wise, quality of life-wise. This is still a place. I mean, not everywhere in the United States, but most of the places is very, very decent. And the most important part is that I think that people are the main component that makes the places great. And far, my experience with Americans was great. Like, most kind, most genuine. Not obviously not everyone, but most of the people, especially in rural America, are really nice. And I'm pretty sure that this is a pillar that the United States is standing on right now. I hope all the best for them. However, there's so many issues that some people prefer living instead of staying and making this place even better. Now, obviously, the first thing you would need to do is to compare with other countries. I remember when I just arrived in the States in 2013, the quality of life was significantly higher than in other places. And I've been like in probably 30 countries. Most of the places you would see either lack of food economy or people trying to save on some stuff, especially in European countries. In Germany, I remember I stayed in Airbnb in Germany, and the main host, he did not wash the dishes because he was trying to save on water. Obviously, this seemed nuts to me. I mean, I grew up in poverty, but come on, like you would not wash your dishes. United States never had this. Like, United States always had plenty of everything. It used to be like that and you could feel the difference, but not anymore. I mean, wherever you would go, most of the places in the world, even the country I'm coming from, now you could not really feel the big difference. Especially, like, obviously I cannot compare Ukraine right now to America, but pre-war Ukraine didn't really make a huge difference from United States that we have right now. I mean, the quality of life wise, economy wise, kind of quality of life, I want to say it felt a little bit down here, and other parts of the world it went a little higher. Other factor I think is that causing this mass exodus is the rise of China. Back in the day, when in 90s United States were trying to source all the manufacturing to China, they made, I think, a couple crucial mistakes. First of all, Chinese people, so the plan obviously was to send the crappy jobs here, save the technology jobs here. But first of all, I admire whole Asian culture for being such a hardworking. I mean, when I was in China, I was shocked. Like, people wake up, start to work, and they work all day and then go to sleep. They don't have personal life most of the time. Like, they work 24/7 non-stop. This is not something you could see in other parts of the world, especially in the United States right now or some other parts. Unless you're obviously a self-employed entrepreneur, most of the times people just work 9 to 5, and even then they will still complain that they're, being hard workers or something like that. The issue with China was that they started to get the technology now. I was reading the paper the other day, and this RoboVax that you use in your house, almost all of them are made obviously in China. Actually, every fourth product right now we're using is made of China, maybe even third, who knows, because the manufacturing is growing non-stop. The problem is that China started to get the technology jobs too. Now, those RoboVax, they actually connect to your server, and I was reading, I believe it was a small paper, New York Times if I'm not mistaken, or CNBC. Anyways, the paper was telling that those devices are actually able to control other devices in your house. So they are able to play with the servers in the United States, and if they have a really good hackers, they can actually turn off the lights. They can actually somehow make the systems, some important systems here manufactured. I believe one of my friends, he works in the medical field, and he said that there were non-stop attacks to the medical servers. Obviously, this is something that is important. People's lives are depending on it. China is kind of playing with muscles, They got the technology they wanted. Some of them they stole, some of them were passed to them. I mean, the whole idea of Apple having the factory in China and people in China not getting the technology from there was dumb. Obviously, they will start to copycat everything. Literally, you can go to the markets in the city of Shenzhen. There are plenty of videos about it, and you can just buy the parts and make your own iPhone there. It would not be significantly different from what you have, unless probably the software part might be, but everything else, even that part, you can still fake it. That's the thing with China. Too much power was given. And now another issue that was arising from this is that environmental issues in China, they're going to be really huge. They don't really care. In Beijing, if you would go, you would see the huge layer of the thick, dirty air in the every morning. And people really don't care. I mean, they used to this. Obviously, it's going to have serious health consequences for Chinese people, especially the residents of Beijing. However, I mean, you can cut all the all the gasoline vehicles here, stop production. It would not matter because China and India are going to still produce so much air pollution. Whatever you would do in this part of the world, it still would not matter because they will still keep manufacturing. They will never stop. Other reason I think comes to and this brings me to the issue of the job losses. Obviously, when people lose jobs, they start to save on everything. Quality of life decreases. They start to move into the cheaper places, worse neighborhoods. Overall, this plays some kind of role in the quality of life, lowering the standards, I want to say. So that might be one of the reasons. Thank you for watching, and I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by my company. We help landlords to maximize their rental income. Normally, we take the property, say it's been rented for $3,000, we'll help landlord to make about $5,000 and charge about 10% from the profits. This is what we do. If you guys interested, if you're a landlord and looking for that company that could help you with getting more rent, just letting you guys know, I'm also a realtor in California. Any part of California you're looking for real estate, property for yourself, live with a family, or for investment, I'm your guy. Feel free to hit me up in the DM. Another issue is the political issues. Obviously, the political situation in states is not the best. Political issues that were pretty much ongoing for last, I want to say, 5-6 years, and I think it will continue to grow. The problem with lobbying is it's pretty much legalized corruption. Like, I personally noticed it firsthand. I tried to reach our district congressman, and we had actually one Republican and one Democratic congressman. None of them really cared about my issue. I had to ask my relatives in different state, which was much smaller. Their congressman really helped them. That's another thing. I mean, politicians don't really care about, most of them, not all of them, obviously. Big chunk of those guys are really chasing money, the donors' money, and they do not care what's going on. The California is a perfect example. We have a horror here. If you will go to downtown LA, it's like you're in a zombie movie. Why is this happening? Was it always like this? I don't know. Some people say it was even worse in 90s, but what I noticed 10 years ago, I first arrived here in 2013, it wasn't that bad. I mean, the crime wasn't this crazy, the drugs weren't this crazy. You could walk on the street in the middle of night and no one would stop you, which is not the case anymore. I think most people are saying that the crime is all-time high. There are several reasons for this. It's probably another discussion for another topic, but the point is that quality of life is not getting better. Is it because of bad politicians? Most probably they're playing some role in this. Now, disappearing middle class is really important because when the middle class disappears, the whole American economy is based on the credit. Like, you use a credit card, you spend whatever money you can, and then you go earn them, and then you pay to the bank. The whole economy is called consumer economy. If you lose middle class, you pretty much lose people who purchase stuff, and when you lose people who purchase stuff, you pretty much have businesses dying. I've seen another video a couple days ago from Oakland. If you guys will Google it, you probably will find it. The lady stating that Walmart left Oakland. They don't really feel safe to work there. I mean, obviously, if people steal stuff, the crime is high. I mean, no company would want to be there. So that's another reason. I would want to underline that one of the reasons that most other countries were able to make it so far, like China again, is that they created the middle class. There was no middle class in China. It was the poor and some rich guys. Now they do have a middle class. Like, if you would go to the bigger cities, you would saw those guys who are living a decent life. They're not rich enough, but they're living a decent life. So those guys are started to exist there. And this is a kind of power redistribution maybe amongst the world countries. But another, and I think this is one of the biggest issues, is the drug issues. I cannot understand how, first of all, why would you legalize, I mean, light drugs, okay, I understand, but why would you legalize heavy drugs? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I believe that there are discussions about legalizing heavy drugs. This would be like the dumbest decision that anybody could make. It just doesn't add up in my mind how the government as powerful as the United States of America cannot track this all drugs coming from where, why they allow people selling literally even in Orange County, one of the best neighborhoods I want to say in Southern California. If you would drive down to some streets in Santa Ana, you would probably see the guys doing drugs in the middle of the night right out open. I mean, I don't understand why the government is not tracking down those guys. Bukele, the president of El Salvador, is a perfect example. El Salvador used to be a country that no one would want to go. High crime. Now it's a touristic destination. Everybody wants to go there, wants to visit. He pretty much, I believe he ended up jailing about 70,000 people. But that's a price you pay for becoming a normal country. And quality of life significantly improved, and people voted for him, almost 90% satisfaction rate. This is what good governance does to your country. And when you have a bad governance, obviously you mess up stuff and no one wants to live in your country. I'm not talking about, again, I'm not saying that everything is messed up here. I think America still has a chance. America still is one of the best places to do the business. However, it's getting less and less attractive, unfortunately. Again, I'm a big proponent of United States. I love this place. I would love to live here. But even me, I'm considering to move. Now, if you would compare with other countries, say Dubai, obviously Dubai would seem much more interesting. First of all, perfect weather all year round. Three months were super hot. But I mean, you can go to Europe, it's just a 2-hour flight. Or taxes, zero taxes, or crime, no crime at all. The prices are still cheaper than the United States. So many qualities that Dubai is beating United States. Probably, I want to say maybe LA, Chicago, New York, you can still find some stuff you could not be able to find there business-wise, market-wise. However, overall, with everything going virtual, it's really hard to compete with countries like Dubai or Singapore or Switzerland, say. You know, these places are really offering so much more quality of life-wise that United States starts to lose more and more. I mean, honestly, I think that the government is focused on wrong things here. The Canada is even worse. You can see like gazillions videos of Canadian citizens thinking about moving out of Canada. Again, I think that's bad governance. I'm not blaming Justin Trudeau. You know, I'm not in his shoes. I don't know what he's been through, what kind of decisions he might have to make. But I have lots of friends in Canada and everybody's saying that quality of life is decreasing. Shout out to my Canadian friends, and if you think that I'm wrong, feel free to comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Anyways, if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I hope to see you on the next ones. Have a good one. Bye.